Hey synthheads, today we're going to be talking about Roland releasing synthesizers for this September 13th, 2018. Hi, I'm Pure Ambient Drone. This is my channel where I talk about synthesizers. You're watching my vlog. If you want to keep up with all of my synth adventures, hit that subscribe button and let's get going. So today, Roland has released the news of 2 new keyboards, okay? And we are looking at their website right now, excuse me, which talks about the Roland Axe Edge Keytar and their Juno DS76. Now, a little bit about the Keytar. I had an opportunity to catch up with some videos on it. Seems like it's kind of going for the performance artist who plays on stage and wants to look a little flashier, wants to get a little more performance in. So it has added some, added performance controls. It seems to have more of an edgy sound than some of their earlier synthesizers of modern day releases. And then we've got yet another Juno release over here, which I haven't even bothered to take a look at. And I know you guys can criticize me all day long on that, but I'm just not interested in anything that Roland has been releasing this last year. The last thing that caught my attention was the Roland JD-XA. I talked about that in another video. I really enjoyed that synthesizer, but I ended up selling it because it wasn't exactly what I was really frustrated with it, to be honest with you. Would have been great if they would have went back to the drawing board on the Roland JD-XA and improved on that, because that was a fantastic concept. And I wish they would have done that rather than put more work into their Juno series, which I have a Juno 106, and man, I love this thing. Now, I know what some people are going to say. They're going to say, well, Pure Ambient Drone, why do you want Roland to go back and keep making their stuff over and over again? And, don't you want something innovative? Here's what I want. I want Roland to take some of their classic gear that everybody is going after and trying to buy at high prices on the internet these days, and reissue it with a modern day twist on it, okay? With today's technology, there's so much more that we can do. Now, some of you would argue, well, that's what they're doing, okay? But no, they're making their analog yesterday synthesizers, yesteryear synths, or classic synths, they're making them digital instead of using today's know-how, today's technology to build these things bigger, better, faster, whatever you want to call it, with more knobs, okay? Not this digital domain. I got nothing against digital synthesizers, okay? I don't. I love digital synthesizers. I have the Dave Smith Evolver down here, Poly Evolver. I mean, you can't get more digital than this in a synthesizer. I've got the Yamaha Montage. But look what these two have in common right here, okay? These are just 2 of the synthesizers that I have that are digital. They have lots of knobs, sliders, buttons, so that you can synthesize the sound. Listen, folks, these are called synthesizers, okay? Synthesizers. These synthesize sound. And the best way to do that is having lots of knobs and buttons and sliders, like some of these synthesizers that you see have. In fact, if you look around in my studio, you will see a lot of keyboards and synths in general that have lots of sliders and buttons, okay? Now this is so I can have easy access to the sound palette. Now, here's something that's interesting. This is a Roland, okay? And it is the TR8. And look, it has knobs, it has buttons, it has sliders. And this is actually a very good product. And it is digital. And it sounds great. And I am very pleased with this Roland product. And I kept it, okay? I've had this for quite a while. I have not sold it. And even though I don't use it a whole lot anymore like I used to, I kept it. I have their Roland FA06 And this thing is great. It has the supernatural sounds. I don't see anything new on this website that excites me that says, hey, I want to give Roland $1,499 for their new guitar. So I'm not Roland bashing, guys, because this is the exact opposite, really, honestly. Roland can do better than this. If Behringer can come out with all of this analog stuff that they're coming out with, if you haven't caught that video, it was yesterday's video. Just go to my channel and check that one out. Sequential, Dave Smith Instruments, they are coming out with all kinds of cool stuff. They have been coming out with all kinds of cool stuff. They came out with the Prophet 6. They came out with the OB6. They came out with the Prophet X. They came out with the Prophet 12. Man, they're just knocking it out of the ballpark. The Pro 2, come on, And again, it's frustrating because Roland used to be the status quo. They used to be the benchmark that people reached for when it came to designing their synths. This is what I'm talking about. We can do better than this, Roland. Now, again, this market that they're reaching, it's for somebody. But it's not for synth heads like me, okay? It's not for this synth head. I want something that I can design sound with. I want something that I can push to its limits and then still feel that I haven't even scratched the surface on it, all right? I want something that's deep. For this kind of money that we're talking about, I want something powerful. I want something that's going to last. I want something that 20, 30 years from now, people are going to look at and go, man, I wish I would have bought one of those when they were in production, okay? And very few synthesizers excite me anymore in the modern age. They're just, it seems like, when I was a kid, I'm going to reference this to something else. When I was a kid, I collected comic books. And then in the 90s, comic books, and they've always been doing this, but I'm just saying in the 90s it was very obvious, or maybe I was just older, I don't know. But it seemed like in the 90s they caught on that, hey, there's collectors out there, there's people out there that'll buy any comic, so let's just do anything and everything, and let's pump this comic out for the sake of people just buying it, because we know that there are people out there that'll just buy anything. And they just started pumping out these ridiculous comics with ridiculous storylines, and then they're making millions of copies and millions of copies, and then collectors were buying these up, hoping that one day they'd be worth something, like the comic, like the one that where featured Superman's death or whatever. They made hundreds of millions of copies of that, and nobody wants it because everybody has a copy of it. You can find them in comic book stores everywhere. At least I can up here, and they're not valued. And so I guess my point is, who's going to be looking for this in 20, 30, 40 years? Who's going to be saying, oh, I wish I got a Juno DS76 back in 2018. Oh, I wish I didn't let that one go. Okay. I don't know. Maybe the guitar is pretty cool. I mean, the guitar, it looks cool, right? I guess. I don't know. But is anybody in 20, 30 years going to wish they got one? Maybe. I don't know. I haven't had enough play with one. I haven't touched one. And so, this is just my opinion of what I was hoping to see was something more innovative. I was hoping for them to go back to the drawing board on some of their older stuff and put a modern, twisty flavor on it. But I don't think Roland's capable of doing that anymore. I don't think Roland is capable of surprising us anymore. However, the Roland SY22, sounded great. I never owned one, never touched one, but I did watch a lot of videos on it, and that counts for something. It sounded great, and they did a great job on that. Why couldn't they make a Poly on that? Wouldn't that be awesome if they would have made a Poly on that? See, that's where this video is going, okay? Roland can do better than this, okay? Roland can do better than this. Same thing with their digital remakes of their JU06s, of the Juno 106. Why can't we have more voices? Why can't we have a 12 Poly full-size keyboard on that synthesizer? Why can't we have more of the same and take it up a notch and not this micro synthesizer stuff with 4-note Poly? Oh my gosh, I'm rambling. Was it 3 notes Poly? I don't remember. I had those, and I couldn't remember if there were 3 or 4. Guys, leave me a comment. Tell me what you feel about Roland. Be kind, be courteous, be professional, be respectful to others. And until next time, hit that subscribe button so you can keep up with all of my synth adventures, and keep calm and synth on. I'm trying to keep calm. I'm keeping calm, guys. I'm keeping calm. I know Roland's going to pull out of this nosedive, and they're going to bring us some awesome synthesizers in the future. And who knows, maybe this guitar is going to hit it out of the ballpark. Go check the local music stores up here and see if I can't get my hands on one. I doubt it, because they hardly carry anything from Roland anymore up here. You guys, I love you all. Have a great day.